Welcome to NFL Straya. I am, of course, your co-host, Jaymz Clements. I'm a guy here in the studio. Still feeling pretty good. Top of the division. No problems. On the other side of this here screen, however, is a bloke who is now considering donating his shoulder to Carson Wentz and his ankle to Skattebo. It is sometime singer in a band called The Ramshackle Army. He is my mate, he's your mate, he's Skattebo's mate. It's Gaz. Gaz, what's going on?
Jim, everything is back and right with the world. The sun's out. It's beautifully warm today. I've got a beer in front of me. Eagles are 3 games clear. Cowboys are getting their ass handed to them. Everything's right in the world, Jim. Everything is great. I was thinking just before, remember how we started off this podcast during COVID and we'd both be like half a dozen beers deep when we started, and then it all just got worse from here. I haven't had a beer for a couple of weeks in a podcast, so I thought, crack a tin. Why not?
Not bad. Very smart. Yeah, all is right in the world. The Pats are 6-2 on top of the AFC East.
That's fucking weird.
As they should be, right? But this is NFL Australia's Week 8 wrap, a.k.a. blowout week, a.k.a. all the favourites just keep winning by a lot week. I don't know, it was a weird one. But we've got, a bunch of news, a bunch of injury news, obviously. We're going to wrap up all the games from Week 8. We've got some YNRs, our weekly awards, and then our Week 9 picks will be in Thursday's little splinter show as well. So get your ears around that. And, of course, we cover a bunch of NFL Supercoach in Jim Does Supercoach. Those Wednesday shows are getting so chaotic. NFL Supercoach is just off its head. So that's very fun. So I'll have a quick little mention about that. But that's it. So I guess we should probably get into it. What is this? Episode 137, I believe, of NFL Straya. Let's go! Oh, nah, it's not that bad. 'Tis but a scratch. Let me get back out there, coach. Come on, I can play on one leg. Oh, g'day, it's Skattebo, and I saw my foot end up on the other side of the field this week. And you're listening to NFL Straya. All right, guys. So, Week 8's done. As I said, blowout week. A lot of favourites won. Same as the week prior, actually. Bit of an odd one. But I guess we hit on this literally 2-3 weeks ago, right? The Skattebo injury, we were messaging at the very wee hours of the morning. Gross. Horrifying. Yeah. Like that sort of horrible stuff. Where when it's that bad on the field, the reaction is that bad. Like, so much of me is like, I don't actually want to see the replay. And then you can't tear your eyes away from the replay. And as soon as you've seen the replay, you go like, oh, wait, I really wish I hadn't seen that. Like, this is how my stupid brain works. That sucked. Like, it was absolutely brutal. Poor Skattebo. It was like, such a electric experience there for this moribund Giants franchise. Jackson Dart's beside himself in, like, sheer despair.
Yep.
And Skattebo's foot's like this way. I don't know. Did you remember Harrison Jones, I think it was, for the Bombers this year? Same sort of thing. Kind of landed a bit weird and his foot just went, his head went that way and his foot went that way. Like that sort of vibe. Like it was like horrible.
But so obviously there's the stories that come out because he's a legend. He's a myth. He's an enigma. Skattebo already. And yeah, commented that he said to teammates, get me up, I'm walking off myself. Like that sort of shit. And you know that it's pretty full on when you're a Giants player and Eagles fans at home are applauding you leaving. And Big Dom, the security guard, went and visited him in hospital and took him pizza and fucking cheesesteaks. So he's already caused buzz about himself. He's added some spice to one of the top 2-3 saddest franchises over the last 5 years. All of a sudden, they got some vibes, and then they lose Neighbours. And then they got some vibes, and then they lose Skattebo. And then you're like, for fuck's sake. Anyway.
Did not step on my Outback Takehouse, but I mean, this is what happens when you steal 2 Super Bowls that you don't deserve, really.
How's fucking all in the while we're still on this? All the commentary, they just fucking were giving it to Tom Brady this week. So of course BG comes back. So he's interviewing at the Eagles game, and BG's just on the sidelines, and he runs up behind him when he's getting interviewed and like strip sack every time he sees Tom Brady. And then Tom Brady's on in front of the cast crew, and they're all like, so Giants. So how's that franchise? How did that work out for you? Like
making him do the Giants Eagles game. The 2 teams that have beaten him in a soupy was just such a kick in the guts. Like, anyway.
I'm sure he's crying himself to
sleep.
Himself
to sleep with his 7 rings and billions of dollars. But yeah, as I said at the top, blowout week, favorite win week. I want to say, what's that? We had 12 games. I think favorites went 11-1. Like it was just absurd.
Yeah, and one of those ones that look, I took a bit of a flyer and a bit of a multi, and I think I went the Niners. But the one. Sure we'll talk about it, but we all need to pause and have a bit of a laugh at the Falcons, don't we?
They're literally number 4 on this stupid list of like the Falcons are the worst team ever, and I hate Kirk Cousins because they cooked everything that I bet on this week as well.
You're like, but the way that Miami's been playing, you're like, this is a fucking certainty.
Yeah. At home, you're Atlanta. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. The Jets got a win. That was massive. They go into their bye happy. It's amazing. Again, though, Cincinnati, you're a disgrace. The tush push is still dead. This is 2 weeks in a row we've had some weird tush push thing where they reckon they'd sort of forced the fumble, right, from your man Jalen Hurts and his stupid hats. But the refs came in and saved the day once more for the Eagles. Forward progress was stopped. It's like, that's never stopped you stopping the top tush push before, you idiots. But now, because it's a turnover, you're going to actually, get out of here. So
it's really, annoying. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Anyway, it feels like we've had enough of these instances now where they're just struggling to like officiate properly. That they're just going to ban it. So anyway, other news, as mentioned, Falcons are the worst team ever. Carson Wentz is done for the season, as I mentioned at the very top of the show, and that's his left shoulder, which looked like it had popped out a couple of times in that game that the Vikings played last week. It was not great. And
he's been getting battered for a couple of weeks now. Like it was just taking its toll, and we all know Carson Wentz, he's kind of injury prone, so it was only a matter of time before something happened to him. But yeah,
the Broncos are also going to lose Pat Surtain for a couple of weeks, might even end up on IR, which is a bit of a crazy one if you look at that sort of Broncos D. The other one, obviously, Skattebo's foot came off. That was the big injury news. So they're like, we took him to a local hospital. I love it when they're like, we took him to a local hospital. So that sounds like literally we've gone to the closest hospital, which makes sense. But we've taken him to a local hospital. Makes like when you're not using the proper name of the hospital and that sort of shit, it literally makes it sound like you're going to like just some dinky run down shitty hospital where he's just strapped to a gurney, just screaming in agony, and his foot's like this way still, as they're trying to get to him. Like there's 80 patients in front of him, etc. Local hospital, I found strange. And I guess what was the other one? There was a trade as well. I think. McCreary from the Titans got traded to the Rams. And you're like, aha, the rich get richer. I'm just waiting for my team to do something cool, maybe on the O-line, just to help protect my actual suddenly MVP candidate QB a little bit better. But otherwise, and I guess the big nice news is that Lamar Jackson looks like he's going to start this week. And it came after a bit of, weirdness this week where he was on the practice report. Was practicing. I think on the Friday practice report was retroactively changed from full participant to partial, and so it was then ruled out. So it looked like it was the Ravens covering their ass, and this is all coming on the back of like a massive NBA betting scandal about injury reports and just chaos. It's like the NFL go, God, no, not this, and the Ravens crapping their dacks, everyone getting really antsy, and then the Ravens kicking the shit out of Chicago anyway. And you're like, well,
yeah. And really Harbaugh coming out and going, we definitely didn't do it on purpose, and I definitely know nothing about it.
Nice one.
Sure.
It's brutal. And I guess the really sad one was that Nick Mangold, former Jets O-lineman legends, died of complications from kidney disease.
Seven or eight pro bowler.
Absolute legendary dude. Just a dude's dude as well. I mean, Rex Ryan was, tearing up and stuff, talking about his former, big part of his O-lines as well when he was the Jets coach. Just seemed like a real legend. So that really sucked.
Yeah.
We didn't actually, I don't know if we mentioned on the show, but he did put out on social media like 2 weeks ago, like, hey, if anybody out there has like this matching blood type and wants to donate a kidney. So it's just really fucking sad. He's got like 4 kids and stuff. You're like, dude, that is just 41. Like, God damn. So that stinks. But anyway, I mean, that's the second week we've had like someone from like the, a big part of our footballing lives from the tens and teens.
Yeah.
Who has passed away with Doug Martin and now Nick Mangold. It stinks. All right. Otherwise, let's do some game wraps. So you can punch through a bunch of these pretty quickly because they're all pretty shit. Before that, though, usually it's like week 8. You're like, we're halfway through the season. That's probably my favorite thing about it being like a 17-week season now. It's like, we're not even halfway. This is great. We're like week 9. We're halfway then. So we'll do some halfway awards next week, I reckon. But Minnesota got the shit kicked out of them on Friday morning football, 37-10. The Chargers are back. They got Joe Alt back and literally just went, we're now good again. Check this out. Suddenly they had time to run the ball, time to pass the ball. Kamani Vidal was awesome. They were just good. Like Juzzy Herbs, give him some time. It's just so weird, I feel like, the vagaries of the Vikings defense, where it's like sometimes they just look fucking awesome, terrifying, don't want to go against them. And then a week like this where you're like, they are doing nothing.
No.
Like a lot of it's scheme, a lot of it's sort of preparation. We were so both bang on about the Chargers, though, on a short week at home, banged up Wentz. The other weird story, I guess, is JJ McCarthy, and just like, he's on the sideline, he's hanging out.
Yep.
As I said, I think, was it last week where it's like, this has just been a soft benching, hasn't it? Like, might have been 2 weeks ago.
If this is seasons, I mean, it's a tough division. At what point are you just going to go, well, we're not going to bring him out at all, right? You're fucking 3-4. But like, you're not looking like you're going to make a deep playoff run. But anyway, stranger things have happened. We're still talking about the Ravens making the playoffs. So, stranger things have happened.
I'm going to talk about the NFC playoff picture in a second, but I don't know. There's a QB who's a backup at the moment who's probably pretty adept at Minnesota's system. He knows the area pretty well. He doesn't like getting holes in his sweaters. I'm just saying. Bring back Kirk Cousins.
You're saying that this week was an audition to be moved on.
God damn. It was a horrible audition. That's a tanking of the audition if you've ever seen it. Anyway, good win for the Chargers. They sort of stay alive now. And if like they just sort of can get back into the right frame of mind, then they're dangerous. Bit of shit pumping going on here. Miami, Atlanta, 34-10.
What?
I literally just wrote, well, what the fuck, Atlanta? Jesus. It was horrible. Like there was like this weird moment where it felt like they might actually pull the comeback off, and then Bijan like basically knocked the ball off his own leg and fumbled it forward as he was like in the red zone right there, probably going to score, and then it all just went completely fucking sideways from there. There's a weird story about this where Tua got like fucked in the eye. He had a big case of fuck eye this week, and so he's like wearing a visor, and suddenly he can fucking throw laser passes. It was like,
is
he got like Terminator glasses? Like, ding, ding, throw ball. Like, what the fuck? It was crazy. They killed him. They absolutely flat out killed him, guys.
It was just crazy efficient the way that he hasn't been playing all this year. Like, it's kind of peak Tyreek days, which is like fucking someone, either him or Waddle's going to be open down there somewhere. And he didn't put up a heap of yards, but 20 of 26 for 4 TDs. And this is the Atlanta Falcons team who traditionally their defense is stunk. And obviously they didn't do anything to disprove that. But fucking Bijan as the one of the at least offensive player of the year favorites walks away with 25 yards on 9 carries. Like, what the fuck?
I had just sort of gone so far in, like, the annoying part, obviously, Kirk Cousins starts this game, so they rule out Penix. What do you have, like a busted finger or something? I feel like it was. And they rule Penix out fairly late in the piece. And so you got Kirk Cousins. You're like, well, that's probably still fine. They keep pointing out that this is like also, I think, the site of the, you like that? You like that game from like bang on like 10 years ago or something. Crazy sort of like, all right, sick. This is going to be the Kirk Cousins game. And then he came out and was absolutely abysmal. Like, he goes 21 to 31. Oh, that's not too bad, Jim. That was, if you watch that game, you're like, he doesn't know how to play quarterback anymore. What the hell? It was horrible gear. Bijan couldn't get going. I'd bet on him on a bit of a ladder as well of like combined receiving and rushing yards here, and here with a touchdown. Never looked like break. Well, there was like the one where he sort of broke and then it got, I think there was one that got called back and there was another one where he fumbled and you're like, dude, this is just not our day here to Atlanta. So that sucked. Sank everything else that I had tied to him. So bit angry at the old Atlanta. And now they play the Pats this week. So I want us to absolutely fucking kill them. Just saying. Anyway, Miami. DJ Mikey McD saved his job. I reckon he now keeps it probably for the rest of the year unless it just completely falls off a cliff in like 2-3 weeks. But at that point, may as well just ride it out, right? Achane was the big one here. He could actually run the ball. And it was good to see Ollie Gordon got in the end zone as well. Still didn't mean I won fantasy, but goddamn. No. Anyway, Jets Cincy. What the hell was this? 39-38. How do you give up 39 points to the Jets offense, Gaz? Justin Fields has been dragged through the mud by his own owner this week.
Negative 10 yards in previous weeks, and all of a sudden they put up, what was it, 400 total?
I think it was 500 plus. Like, it was absolutely crazy how good they were.
500 total yards they put up.
Absurd.
500. This is an offense who had negative 10 net yards the other week on passing yards, obviously. But that was, what a fucking shootout. It's ridiculous.
They scored 6 points last week against the Panthers. 11 points the week before, 22, 21, 27, 10, and 32. They dropped 39 a week after scoring 6 points. It's just insane. That just shows you how bad this Bengals defense is. Trey Hendrickson came back and then left again because I assume, because he's like, this fucking sucks. I'm out. Peace. You suck. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out. That's absolutely what happened with Trey Hendrickson. And I think they've gotten to the point where, I don't know if, because he's hurt again, can they trade him? Like, they're fucked. So, Cincy, disaster.
Look, I'm not going to be I'm not saying it's obviously first win for Coach Glenn and obviously first win of the season for this poor Jets team. And obviously Breece Hall was able to get some shit going. But look, I'm not going to question anyone's beliefs, Jim. But apparently this was all God's work. This was the interview with Jazzy Fields afterwards that comes out that apparently he was sitting in his cupboard crying this week. His wardrobe, not his cupboard. No, that's kind of like fairy tale shit. But like sitting in his cupboard, his wardrobe, having a bit of a like come to Jesus literal moment, and then he's just putting his faith in there and comes out and has a win. Now, I'm not saying that there was an extra man on the field there, Jim, but something has to be responsible for this. But then, all they said at the end of this game, sorry, I went off on a tangent there. All they said in this game, like towards the end of this game, because I was watching something else finish before this game was still carrying on, was, Jim, that's why you follow the analytics play. When you're down by 2 TDs, you score the first one, you always go for 2, because if you score that 2, you're going for the win when you go for the second one. And that's exactly what fucking happened, right? They ended up with that point over the line and fucking out she goes.
It absolutely stunned me that it worked, because they were down 14. As you say, they scored the touchdown, and then they're lining up to go for 2, and I'm like, you're the Jets. Why do you just kick the fucking point and try to get this tied up? Like, whatever. But he got it. They got it. And then suddenly, they're back within actual, oh shit, we can win this. And it sort of did feel like it gave them a boost as they're doing those next 2 drives. And they pulled it off. And against this Bengals defense, I mean, it probably gave them that sense of belief that was pretty crazy. I also want to know how you can throw a flag on the extra man on the field if it's God. It's like the ref sort of like, oh, wait a minute,
Jesus walks.
Is this God over there? It's like fucking penalty. And God's like, fuck your penalty. Come on.
Also, but the one where it had to be like, I mean, obviously it is fate, because clearly, even though we're giving it to the Bengals D for giving up 39 points to the Jets, This is the Jets D, which was always their strong suit, and they're giving up 38 points to the Bengals. Now, let's not forget that they took the 1 point lead and gave 2 minutes to
Joe
Flacco, who's just put up 38 points to get within field goal range, and they just stood up at the right time.
It was crazy. So they turned it, like they ran out of, I don't know, basically they ran out of plays, right?
Yeah.
And every part of me was watching that going, Flacco's just going to drive them down. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. He's got Chase. He's got Higgins. He's got fucking.
I'd bet on Cincy. I'm like, that's cooked anyway. Now and at that point, I'm kind of like, I want to see Cincy lose because that's funnier. But then I'm like, wait a minute. I think Chase doesn't have a touchdown here. I want him to like score through the fucking roof on Supercoach. And none of it came to pass, and they still fucking lost. So thank you, Cincy, for just fucking everything. Happier news. New England, 32. Cleveland, 13. I was happy with this. It was a bit of a... I don't know how much of this one you were watching, Gary, but it was a bit of a fucking arm wrestle. We took a lead into the half because of a field goal by Andy Borregales. Oh, yeah. So it was like 9-7, I think, at the half. And then, like, I'm not stressed at that point, but there's like a beautiful deep ball to like Booty. The Diggs crossing route in the red zone was just kissing fingers emoji. It was so quick, so fast, so good. And basically the entire time I'm just like, look, the defense will make one thing fucking happen and we'll score from there. And that's exactly what happened, right? There was the Spillane, I think, interception. And the Cleveland defense is terrifying. Myles Garrett had 5 sacks.
He was so angry when he got pulled off the field.
They pulled him off at the end.
He's like, 5 sacks going, like, what the fuck? Put me back in there.
It's like he's just sort of sitting there go, where's a white boy quarterback that I can swing a fucking fist and a helmet at, and we'll sort of see what happens. But the 5 sacks were crazy. The fact that the Pats were still leading and Drake May had an interception at the start of the game that was real fucking bad, where I'm like, oh God, I think we're going to lose this game. But as soon as we sort of steadied the ship in that last drive before the half, it was like, I think we got this. The defense will do something, and they did. And it's kind of been the cool thing about this Pats season is like the defense does do something against these shitty teams and these shitty offenses that we've played. Because, like, yeah, the lead isn't off yet. They're 6-2, but they've played shit teams. If they beat Atlanta next week, they should probably at this point.
Hang on, are you contradicting yourself, or are you tongue in cheek calling Atlanta a good team? You're like, well, they've beat shit teams, but they've got Atlanta next week,
and that's it. I don't know. Like, I think Atlanta are kind of shit, so they should beat them. That's kind of the vibe. So I don't know. Just keep beating the teams you should, and that was kind of what I was happy with this one. Like coming out of it with a substantially good win. But my favorite thing is Drake May, when he throws a long ball, nothing makes me happier because it's just, they're so fucking good.
What was the pass that I saw the highlight of? I only saw highlights of this, where it was like the pass, like the handoff, pass back to May, going long down the sideline to Mac Hollins. So
good. And it was desperate, they needed that one too for the Mac Hollins one. It was like a real nice settler. But like, was it I think it was Henry or Hooper, one of the tight ends who got the touchdown. Just such a beautiful rollout. The Booty pass was incredible. And like those long passes, it's like having watched Mac Jones and the sort of litany of other QBs since Brady. Like even Brady on some of those long balls, especially later in his career, when we had these Pats receivers that were just shit. May's got some receivers that are actually fucking just perfectly suited to him. So it's great. Like it's really fun to watch as a Pats fan.
Nice.
As I was saying to a mate of mine, 4 years in the wilderness is a long time, Gary. So, anyway. Your game, Giants 20, Philly 38.
Jeez. It's exactly what I wanted it to. This is what we needed as Eagles fans. No one else would be saying this, but the defense adjusted from just pure embarrassment from a couple of weeks ago. The offense starting to be where they should be. But the Giants have got reason for hope, I guess, happiness. Like obviously the Skattebo thing, that was fucked. That's not the difference between them winning and losing the game. There was a couple of things that I am a one-eyed Eagles supporter, but I 100% understand why all Giants fans would feel absolutely fucked by the refs in this game. The reffing was fucking disgusting, and that definitely the tush push one was definitely a fumble. Thibodeau ripped that out. Live ball. It should have been a fumble. The other one was the false start on Mailata that got missed, and they ended up calling a what was it? It's an encroachment, neutral zone infraction on Thibodeau, maybe. And then so those two plays, those two calls, and then look, the one for Darius Slayton that got called offensive pass interference. He did push off on Quinyon Mitchell, but fuck, how many times have you seen that?
The amount of push-offs that are exactly like that, where they just don't get called, was crazy.
It was, yeah. That said, all of those things combined, you go, there's three things that were, that they got fucked over. But also, our offensive line is back. The second play of the game, Saquon busts 65 yards to the house. Jalen Hurts, 4 touchdowns, so 15 of 20. Only 179 yards, but that's this offense. It's the fact that he's under center now. They had to respect the run game because the offensive line is back. And then Smitty, with no AJ Brown, Smitty was open a bunch of the time. Dallas got it now. He's leading the league in touchdowns, even though he's got like fuck all yards. He's got 7 touchdowns. But yeah, look, Jalen Hurts is 7 touchdowns passing, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions in the last 2 games. He's leading the league with 20 touchdowns and 1 turnover. Obviously should have been 2 this year. Sorry, 20 combined touchdowns, 2 turnovers. But we had Saquon put up 150 yards, and then Tank Bigsby. We traded for him as a kick returner. He sucked at that. Finally put him in. We'll give you a go now that Saquon seems to have twinged his groin, and puts up 100 yards. We ran for 276 yards, Jim, after averaging under 100 for the first 7 weeks.
It's pretty good.
The boys are back.
He broke one big one up the right-hand side as well, I remember, right? That was like actually at a moment that you kind of needed the first down.
It was second and 31, Jim.
Yeah, it was insane.
Second and 31 after a massive sack on Jalen Hurts on first down. It was fucking epic, and it was fantastic. But also the adjustments on the defense. We didn't have Jalen Carter the last time we played them, and we lost Quinyon Mitchell really, really early. So we did a lot of Vic Fangio did a lot of blitzing the first time. Went not exclusively, but majority into zone coverage, and all of the scrambling from Dart that had fucking really cost us in the first game just didn't happen. But we go into a bye now, and coming back from the bye, as we mentioned, BG, Brennan Graham signed. He should be back. We've got Nolan Smith should be back after the bye from IR. AJ Brown should be back. Cam Jurgens should be back. All these players are coming back for a 6-2 team. I'm pretty happy. But if you're a Giants fan, you got to go, all right, this season wasn't much anyway. This is like, feel out the boys. But, Dayball saved his job. He's got the whole fan base has got passion again. And you feel like, all right, once these guys come back, they could have been, at worst, they could be second in the division right now. If all of these guys stayed healthy, neighbours, that defensive line, it's a good reason for hope for the Giants fans.
Nice. I reckon they should tank. The thing is, there's 6 teams with 2 wins and 3 teams with 1 win. So tanking this year is, I don't know, still a bit shit. Other one is Jalen Hurts takes the worst sacks, I reckon, in the NFL.
Yeah, it's one of those things that he's always had with how long he holds onto the ball and his confidence that he can save things with his legs. So there are just as many plays where anyone else would take a sack and then all of a sudden he's 20 yards down the field. But when it goes bad, it goes real fucking bad.
Because I'm like, not even like the worst. Like some of the worst lookings are like Cousins or Flacco or just like the old dude who just gets fucking pancake, or Wentz, as it were. Talk about holding the ball. Wentz probably takes the more destructive ones on both his body and on his team's position. But yeah, Hurts takes these ones that are just like horrible. We're like, oh God. Anyway. And the last bit was National Tight Ends Day. I should have mentioned that at the top. I don't know if you heard it mentioned only the million times that it was said.
50,000 fucking times.
But I should have incorporated that into my betting, I think, this weekend, and I didn't quite do it enough. And I learned my lesson. So went hard on Tucker Kraft, and that worked out a fucking treat. So, but anyway, yeah, like Kittle got in as well later, which we'll talk about in a second. Mark Andrews got involved. But let's move on to those next games. 40-9, Buffalo kicked the shit out of Carolina. It turns out, Gary, Andy Dalton is still actually no good. It's probably because he looks like a combination, like a face meld of you and I. But he's shit. Buffalo, they're getting healthier. They're fine. I don't think we need to say too much more about that game. This was cue in the rack time. Like, Dalton was horrible. It was like just abysmal. Anyway, Baltimore 30, Chicago 16. No Lamar, no hassles. They had Snoop Huntley this time instead of Cooper Rush. They actually made a big difference, I thought. Sort of feels like Snoop plays very similar to Lamar, whereas Cooper Rush doesn't. It felt weird that they went to Cooper Rush first. But Caleb looked like, I don't know what the stats were in the end for Caleb Williams, but he looked so shit in this game. Frustrating because, like, I love me some Roma Dunze. And so in Supercoach, betting wise, I was all over some Roma Dunze. You're against this Baltimore defense that had gotten a bunch of dudes back, but I still figure, right, we're going to a Dunze, they're going to get one. He had one call back because of a bullshit fucking call too, which is frustrating. But Chicago, I feel this is why they're the median team. We hit on it last week, right? They are the perfect median in the NFL. If you're good, you can beat them. If you're shitter than them, they'll probably beat you. So they find like they're the water level team, I guess. And Baltimore, I've been saying for fucking weeks, they're probably still going to win the division. And they get a little bit healthier. They don't even have Lamar, and they kick the fuck out of him. So, I mean, it also, I still feel like Chicago went too far away from even winning this game if Caleb Williams hadn't just been shit. Like the interception from his own end zone, that sort of stuff.
And if there wasn't some just really fucky like play clock management, taking ages to call plays in and doing what they're doing at the end of halves, then you might get an extra couple of plays off. So yeah, it wasn't fucking great.
Cairo Santos falling short as well because they couldn't get the kicking ball out there and shit like that for him. And I don't know, but Baltimore's defense looked a lot sprightlier, a lot healthier, and yeah, they're kind of terrifying. But Chicago, that's kind of the thing. Like if they're on the road and the team's better than them, I'm not going to trust them to win. So anyway, San Francisco, use your words, Jim, 15, Houston 26. Kittle got in. That was good. National Tight End Day. Don't know if you heard about it. Stroud looked good because they're at home, and that defense was fantastic. And I think that was the biggest difference, right? The Houston defense was fucking terrifying. Will Anderson was everywhere. Stroud didn't even have Nico Collins, but he was still just like, actually, he had a bit of time because the Niners defense is just that banged up. At home, like I was all over Houston in this one. Felt great about it, and yeah, they never really sort of got threatened.
Yeah, look, I thought with Nico out and how he'd sputtered without him early in the season, they might struggle. And, you know, with all of those injuries, Mac and McCaffrey had just been doing enough. And it didn't happen. That defense for Houston was awesome. And when you look at it, they've quietly been one of the top defenses in the league for the whole season, just quietly doing its thing. Funnily enough, when you've got Mufasa as your head coach, he's a pretty good fucking defensive strategist.
Amazing. They're 3-4, but their point differential is plus 50. It's insane. Yep. Like there's no other teams that have like a 500 record in the AFC that have a positive plus minus differential, or in the NFC either, and they're plus fucking 50. It's absurd. So like when they play and when they are playing at home, they tend to just win. And outside of that, don't trust the Houstons. Simple.
No.
McCaffrey had a shit one too, which sucks. But anyway, Tampa Bay 23, New Orleans 3. This was horrible for the Saints. Rattler was benched for Shuck. Yuck. Like it was just, I mean, he completed a couple of passes, but even though I was saying on the broadcast, like you don't hold that up and go, well, we're going to have to go with this guy. But Baker and co just look good. This is a really good bounce back for Tampa Bay, right? Like after last week, I was pretty impressed. Like Emeka Egbuka is like still carrying like a groin injury, groin or a hammy injury, and they were absolutely no problems. Like there's a couple of like moments where you're like that's a bit janky, but the Saints, they lose Kamara at one point. Olave is like a drop, but yeah, they're just a pretty shit all-round team at this point. One win for the Saints. It's not a giant surprise. Dallas 24, Denver 44. Is that like the opposite of like their score last week? Dallas 44. Oh, it might have been 44-22. The classic Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? I'm Drew Jones. Why we shit again? Cow them. Denver fucked them up. Bo Nix. I said this in we hit it on last week, right? Do you trust Bo Nix against the Dallas defense? And we were both kind of like, yeah, kind of. And then on the Friday video pick, the pick videos that we put out across all the socials, make sure you cross all of them. That was literally my last point. It's like, do you trust Bo Nix? It's like, oh, kind of. So when we had both picked Denver, and Dak had a shit game. The Denver defense fucked him up. There was like little moments with like CD, with Pickens. There was like a tough Pickens catch that was just overthrown. And Dak just had like one of those shit Dak games that every so often pops its head up. And you're like, yeah, it's a Dak game. You can't just have a full fucking season of being good.
The thing about this, the Broncos have now scored 77 points in the last 5 quarters. Someone posted that, or someone made a comment about that in one of the other pods, and I was like, that's a fucking lot of points,
That's a lot of points.
Considering you'd scored none for the 3 quarters before it. All against NFC East teams. Don't get me wrong, like reasonably shitty defenses. But yeah, mate, if you're Dallas, like this is the Dallas one that you're like, all right, there's been a few positive vibes, but this defense is so fucking shit, and they were already short-staffed with the like the secondary stuff, and the same thing that happened in the Giants game. I mean, you were already suspect, and then you lost a player or two in that secondary during the game, and there's not much you can do. And they're playing with fire in Dallas, being that they are effectively relying on a shootout every game, and that offense just can't be that consistently, right? So if the defense aren't doing their job, and then if the offense can't carry them, well, then these sort of things can happen.
Yeah. 44 for the Broncos was pretty crazy. Like, as you're watching it, like, Jesus Christ, they're getting shredded by Troy Franklin. Like, just RJ Harvey's touchdown was really good. But, well, one of them, he ended up with 2, I think. And
he got 3 because he got a receiving touchdown as well.
One as well, yeah. Because I think his first touchdown of the year was a receiving one as well, maybe. So it's like his first rushing touchdown finally this season. You're like, oh, that's nice for the rookie. But yeah, Dallas is just, I mean, it feels like, on the road, we probably shouldn't trust Dallas. Like, this is the case with so many fucking teams this year that it's kind of crazy. So, anyway. Indy 38, Tennessee 14. Jonathan Taylor's fucking incredible. Amazingly, I bet on the 3 touchdowns, and it hit.
Oh,
it was $5, Gary. $5 to score 3 touchdowns in a game. It's just insane. But against Tennessee, I think everyone was on it. Everybody had him as their coach, their captain in Supercoach and all that sort of shit. But Pittman got involved. Warren got involved. Warren didn't do a massive amount in this one. I expected him to do more. Danny Dimes kind of finally warmed into the game as well. But when you got Jonathan Taylor just running over the top of everybody and ripping off, like, I think it was the second touchdown with a massive run, you're like, fuck yes, he is just on one again. He's unstoppable in Tennessee. Just like, can you fire an interim coach? Like, that's Mike McCoy. You're fired for wearing a fucking visor. Simple as that. Green Bay 35, Pittsburgh 25. Don't know if you knew this one, Gary, but Aaron Rodgers used to play in Green Bay. They barely mentioned it.
And he was playing against the guy who they drafted in the first round, who was going to take over from him, Jim.
And they're friends.
You see what happened?
And
he came up and said, I love you, bro, at the end. And it was all happy families.
Nothing made me happier than Green Bay kicking the shit out of Pittsburgh in this game, despite me taking Pittsburgh. But I don't know, it felt like the defense of Green Bay was like the one thing where you're like, aha, still okay. Because I feel like Aaron Rodgers didn't lose this game, but they just made it fucking difficult for him. And then the flip side was, I've been saying this now for a bunch of weeks, and I've been betting against it pretty heavily. The Steelers' defense, especially in the air, is shit. Like, I think it was like 3-4 weeks ago where I'm like, wait a minute. Steelers are giving up like the 3rd most yards in the air. They've given up like a few touchdowns, not chaos amount of touchdowns, but like enough where you're like, that's a bit weird. And so I've sort of jumped on that. And then I jumped on Kraft this week for that one. And he delivered in spades. So I was stoked with that Sunday night game. So thank you, Tucker Kraft, for National Tight Ends Day and making you make Jim a little bit of cash. But yeah, that's the biggest problem with the Steelers, and that's probably why I'm still believing in the Ravens to win the division, because the Steelers' defense stinks and they are playing a pretty tough schedule. We kind of know that. So, like, Rodgers will probably keep them in a bunch of these games, but it feels like they kind of need...
He looked good. Like, I was flashing between games, and there was some downfield passes on the run. You're like, oh, that is Aaron Rodgers. But he's not doing anything spectacular. He's just doing exactly what you kind of expect him to do, and that is do enough to keep them in games. The run game isn't really delivering for Pittsburgh, and as you said, that defense is somewhat aging now, so they just seem to have lost a step a little bit. So they're relying on Slay, who's doing his thing, but like he's getting past it. Like,
I don't know. They're like every time you sort of look at them, they're kind of getting beaten in the air, but also like their fronts and shit like that. It's sort of like they kind of keep getting pushed over a bit. You're like, there's just, I don't know. Pittsburgh worry me, but they're still like the reason that they won that Pats game is because the Pats gave them the ball 5 fucking times, which I'm still not at all bitter about, and thinking, fuck, we could be 7-1. But at the same time, like you think about Denver, like they're 6-2. They could be 8-0 if it wasn't for a couple of weird fuckiness of the field goals. Like if that Indy Denver field goal one and whatever the fuck one before. Anyway, that was a really good win for Green Bay, and especially because, you know me, love uniforms. Those Steelers ones, the throwbacks to like 19-2 or whatever the fuck it was, they were horrible. Like, I usually love throwbacks, think they're awesome, but you can't wear that uniform against Green Bay. Like, just felt fucking really stupid and weird. Just go with black and gold. You're in prime time. That's dumb. Don't do that. Don't be dumb. And finally, Kansas City kicked the shit out of Washington. 28-7. This was pretty fucking dull and dire because it was just a turnover fest to start the game. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Mahomes has 2 interceptions. You've got 2 interceptions for Mariota, like one right at the end as well. But it was just kind of all over the shop. And then they finally get the, they both score a touchdown in that second quarter. They finally get going. And then Kansas City go, wait a minute, we're at home and we're better than this team. And fucked them up. Good to see him. Was it Lattimore got the interception on Mahomes? And it's like, he needed that one. It's like, yes, because he's been shit. Wasn't there a fumble as well at some point too that I remember? That was kind of weird and a bit shitty too. Yeah, Rashee Rice, but they recovered both of those, But anyway, good return for Rashee Rice as well. He had 93 yards in the touchdown. Travis Kelce had 99 yards in the touchdown. It feels like Kelce, Worthy, and Rice, that is the ideal mix.
Combination.
And like Hollywood Brown as well. I think that was the interception to Lattimore, right? He was going for Hollywood Brown. Lattimore sort of basically turned around at the exact right time. I don't think he even really meant to intercept it. He was probably just trying to play defense the ball, and boom, got it. Bill Krosky Merritt did fuck all, which broke my heart. They just couldn't run the ball. Not a giant surprise. I reckon the Commanders...
No, look,
3-5. Brutal.
Daniels is... That team goes through Daniels, right?
Yep. Commies. Fall from grace this year. Right, let's do some nah-nas. The one that we always ask around this time. Yeah, Gaz. Jonathan Taylor. Could anybody outside of a quarterback win the MVP? And why can't they? Yeah, nah. Can he win the MVP?
Well, yeah, I can. I don't know whether it's been... I mean, it's been an awesome season, but it's just waiting for a team to rise to the top that has a quarterback that everyone goes, oh, that's that thing. That's that guy. Look, Baker hasn't done anything to knock himself out. Case in point, he kicked the shit out of... who he played this week? The fucking... the New Orleans. Yep. Without Godwin and without Evans and without Bucky Irving, right? So, like, Baker just keeps doing his thing no matter who's around him, and you're like, all right, that's good. And then fucking what's infuriating is that now you've got some of the pundits saying that Jalen Hurts has entered the conversation. I'm like, hang on, this guy was fucking useless in the first 6 weeks, according to every man and his dog, and now all of a sudden he's had 2 good weeks and now he's entered the conversation. Calm the fuck down. Like, it's just going to be whatever quarterback rises at the right time is going to be notified as this, unless, I don't know, Jonathan Taylor goes off his fucking head in the second half of the season.
If he scores 3 touchdowns every game.
Yeah, well, that's a possibility.
So the second one, I haven't actually written this down, but it was like, is Mahomes just going to win the MVP anyway? Yeah, no.
I don't think so, because he did fuck all until all of a sudden, oh, your weapons are back, and now you're doing enough to look good. If you look at Baker, it's kind of that, all right, he's doing his thing. And what if the fucking Ravens make a deep run in the playoffs, and then all of a sudden Lamar's gone from, if you're talking about most valuable player, they've gone from just holding on, and then he comes back and they do some fucking crazy run and knock off 7 games in a row. Yeah. And you're like, well, that's fucking valuable, right?
He wouldn't have played enough games though at that point. Yeah. I think to sort of like, we'll sort of do the halfway rank next week, but I reckon probably the best look is probably Josh Allen if the Bills just sort of kick up, especially if they win this week, right, which is a massive game against Kansas City. I think that'll be the sort of starting point of the narrative. I'd like to believe that Drake May could win it, but they might be pushing it just a little bit. The other one I wanted to ask you was the NFC playoff picture. Is it set almost already? I feel like there's a little bit of wiggle room, but like, could the Falcons and the Vikings, do they have any chance of overtaking the teams above them? Which is, and I did have it right in front of me. At the moment, it's Green Bay, Philly, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Detroit, the Rams, the Niners, the Bears, the Panthers. So basically, with the Niners being 5-3, is anybody going to catch and pass the Niners? Like, Falcons, that was a season-defining loss this week. The Vikings are probably now cooked. But if they believed in J.J. McCarthy at the start of the year, I mean, why don't you believe in him now? Because he's shit. All right. And I think the Bears are like the perfect median team. So they'll just go 9-8 or whatever across the year and not make it. But it sort of feels like that 7 spot with the Niners so banged up. Is it up for grabs? Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's it's setting up for a surprise, undeserved team, right? Like up until last week, you were like, how the fuck are the Panthers 4-3, right? And then they come in against the real team and get the shit kicked out of them. But then you've got teams like the Bears who 1 week, as you said, is the median team. They look at someone mediocre and look slightly better than them. And you're like, oh, well, maybe these guys do have a sniff. And then they come and get the shit kicked out of them. But the Niners, as we've said, somehow, we have no idea how they made it to 5-3 because you're like, you've got practice squad dudes. And now all of a sudden, making it. And then all of it takes is a couple of good stay healthy weeks from the commies, and all of a sudden they've got a little bit of a run streak together. You've got that Dallas defense to just be mediocre, right? Just not fucking terrible, and then Dak will get you wins. So all of a sudden, some of this shit could turn around, and that fucking random draw that Dallas has got early in the season and that Green Bay's got will play somewhere in there, right? So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'd like to think that the NFC East can be won with 10 games this year, which is not common as it's been in the last couple of years. The North, what'll cost the Bears is obviously Packers and Lions games. But yeah, it looks like it's down to that 7th spot, doesn't it?
Because the Bears have still got, there's like this amazing 3-game stretch that they're about to hit, where it's at the Bengals versus the Giants and then at the Vikings. If they win all 3 of those, which as the median team, feasibly they could. But then, as you said, they've still got 2 games against the Packers. They finish against the Lions. The Lions might not have anything to play for in that last week, but they've also got a spot against the Eagles, the Niners, the Browns defense. Like, you don't trust them against them anyway. So who fucking knows? I love it. It's chaos.
Chaos.
It feels like the Niners are just sneaking anyway, just because.
You know what? It's almost like Jim. I'm going to say it. There's a lot of football left to play.
There is. Not even halfway through the season, Gary. Right, good bloke of the week. Who are we buying a beer? Obviously, Jonathan Taylor, because he's doing yeoman's work out there. 3 touchdowns a game, making me some money. Appreciate that.
Yep.
All the tight ends. I don't know if you heard, Gaz, but it was National Tight Ends Week this week.
Jesus Christ.
I did like it that Mike Tirico the week before tried to make it National Running Backs Day just on his own volition. Everyone's like, shut up, Mike. But that was good because it was fun to watch a bunch of the tight ends actually score. And I really wish I'd factored that into some of my bet placements. But Aaron Glenn got a win, looks stoked.
Yeah.
But as you alluded to earlier, down 14, goes for 2, is proven right because they win. Like, that was wildly unexpected. But he followed the maths and he won the game. Same goes to Justin Fields. As you said, like sitting in his wardrobe crying and like being honest enough to tell the media that was pretty amazing, I thought, for Justin Fields. It's like a real honest and open moment. It was really kind of nice. And you're like, that's awesome. Like when you win, and he played well because he was playing against the Bengals defense. And I don't know. After the week he had, that dude definitely needs to be bought a beer. And of course, Skattebo, because his foot ended up on the other side of the fucking field. Like,
of course.
Yeah, buy him a beer. You got any candidates
there? Of course, buy a beer for in honor of Nick Mangold.
Oh, yeah. He deserves
that
one.
fucking shit is not great.
It's horrible. All right, Flog of the week. Old mate, no mates. Who's got no mates today? Aaron Rodgers. That was fun. LaFleur and Love, I reckon, fucking loved kicking the shit out of the Steelers. Just saying. Matt LaFleur's like, fuck, that guy was a pain in my ass. Jordan Love's like, that guy fucking was a dick to me the entire time I was there. Oh, but we're friends. It's fine. Yeah, cool. Kirk Cousins. Old mate, no mates, because that's that one done. I think that trade piece is not worth much. And Jets owner Woody Johnson, who spent the previous week almost literally, like if he had walked into the locker room and quite literally shit on Justin Fields, it would have been roughly just as disrespectful as all the other shit he was saying in the media all week. And then Justin Fields looked fucking awesome and they won the game. It was a very nice fuck you. And it was like, because Tyrod Taylor's injured, it's the only reason Justin Fields actually probably started. But Woody Johnson, old mate, no mates. The Jets fans fucking hate him, rightfully so. He's a bellend. Absolutely just one of the worst owners in the NFL. And sucked in, dickhead. He's old mate, no mates.
Yeah. Look, I reckon I just want to add just the refs in general. It's very rare that I'll call that out. But you know what? There's some teams that you usually like to think that it all comes out in the wash, Jim. But in certain instances, some teams cop it more than others. And you're just like, oh, fucking come on, man. There was a couple of plays this week where it was a similar thing. Was it in the Broncos game as well? Where the forward progress because he was pushed into the end zone, and that was callback as well. It's just the consistency that you're just like, fucking hang on.
There was a bunch of them in that Packers Steelers game as well, where you're like, what the absolute fuck? Like there was like a massive defensive line, like just Aaron Rodgers thought he had like the false start on the defense, right? The encroachment, and was like, all right, free play. And they just never called it. Like, and it was horrible. And it was like, when
they were like, that's
a
big part of Darren Rodgers' game, Jim. Yeah. Don't you know that? Like, he sees that, gets a free play, he's up and he's fucking down the field.
That's Aaron Rodgers at his best. Outback Takehouse for... It's Tuesday at Outback. You know what that means? Oh, yeah. Found a possum in the backyard. The squids beat it to death with their cricket bats. Boom. Chucked on a spit roast possum. Only at Outback. Today's Flame Grill take is Bryce Young has been soft benched. And he's probably coming back this week, I'll tell you what, because that was bloody horrible. Soft benching. The JJ McCarthy situation. It probably would have been the Justin Fields situation if Tyrod Taylor had been healthy. The big one's going to be like Caleb Williams. Does Ben Johnson at some point just go, what the fuck is this idiot doing? Like the intention, was it the grounding call against him that was just like, dude, can you not do that again? You did it again. Stop doing that at big moments. The interception at the end of the game as well that sank any chance they had. It does feel like, I don't know, there might be a soft benching in his future as they sort of figure it all out, but I don't know. What was my other Outback Takehouse at the top? I can't remember, but I already said it, so whatever.
Yeah.
Nice. Right, well, shall we do a bit of little Aussie battler. How'd we go with some of the punters this week? I think we also had, because Mitch Wish was off, because Buffalo were on bye. Mm-hmm. Seattle were off, so Tory Taylor.
Buffalo went on bye.
Oh, no, that's right. I don't think they punted. So
yeah,
that might have been it. But yeah, good weekend, I guess. Mailata got away with some good shit. Falale didn't fuck anything up, so that was all right. Didn't notice Crawshaw do that much against Dallas, so anyway. Anything captain fantasy-wise you wanted to bring up? I managed to lose to Josh, which is brutal, in our Legends League of NFL Straya because a bunch of my dudes I had a half a team on bye, but Bill Krosky Merritt fucked me. Just did nothing. Absolutely nothing. I thought Sterling Shepard might have a bit of a chance as well for the Bucks to, with them down so many weapons, maybe to have just a couple of catches, boost it. Nope, nothing. So it fell pretty short. That was a bit of a shit one.
I was a little bit. I was in a bit of pain this week, mate. I had a few guys with the likes of AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Brock Purdy, all these guys out, so it wasn't looking good for me. But I had Stroud in. He played really well, but I lost to Brad by a couple of points. It wasn't great. I need to work on my running back room, I reckon.
Yep, I think I dropped to 5-3, so bit of a rough one. But anyway.
3-5. Fucking blame. Still blame the prick who fucking drafted my team.
That guy rules. But Tavis is 8-0, so just running rampant through the league this year.
Didn't you make a comment? I wasn't at the draft, but did he make a comment about auto drafting?
I don't know. Did he auto draft?
I don't know. He made a smart ass comment on our chat about there's something to be said for auto drafting every year.
That's not bad. If he auto drafted and is kicking our ass, that's hilarious. NFL Supercoach. So we cover this all in Jim Does Supercoach, which has its own sort of social feed. The videos go up on NFL Straya though, so check that out on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm ranked 411th overall, even after this week, which was a shit show really across the board. I managed to rank in the top 6% this week, despite just carnage due to the Nico Collins DNP. Won all three of my league matchups actually, which is pretty amazing. And Pat Fryermuth, who I brought in for Darren Waller, who's now on IR, thinking Fryermuth will get in. National Tight Ends Day, let's go. One of Rodgers' favourite. No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, anyway, we live, we learn, Gaz. And you can find all that out on Jim Does Supercoach. We've got the NBA show every Monday because that's when the NBA week finishes. Then it's a mad scramble because the next week starts on the Tuesday. So you have to get all your shit done in a very short amount of time. The NFL show pops out Wednesday, so go check them all out. But that's it. The Week 9 preview show will be on your feed on Thursday. We're going to go through all the games for Week 9 then, so check that all out. Make sure you subscribed across all the other stuff because that's it for this week. Follow us on Facey, Twitter, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all that good stuff. Rate, review, and star. Jump in the comments on the YouTube. Make sure you've reviewed the show. Like you can review it on Apple Podcasts, all that sort of shit. So do that. It really does help. So that'd be appreciated. Yeah. Big thanks go to House Hats for the intro and outro song. They rule. So get around, as I mentioned, Jim Does Supercoach. NBA Straya is back. We are doing videos every day that we're not doing a show. So 3 shows a week, videos every day, wrapping up everything you need to know about the NBA. And obviously NBA Supercoach in Jim Does Supercoach 2. Gaz, what do you want to plug? How about cheesesteak tipping? Because I won it last week.
Cheesesteaktipping.com. Did you win it? Oh, you won it last week.
Yep.
Oh, we haven't had the announcement for this week, have we? I think I still dropped a few of my... I went for a few roughies to make sure that, I didn't find the... oh, no, I didn't.
Okay. What happened?
George Vulgakis.
There you go.
Has won cheesesteak tipping. It was posted 21 minutes ago. So
nice.
There you go.
Live.
You get free lunch. George gets free lunch on Gino and the team. So get in. Come claim your winnings before we eat them ourselves. No promises after happy hour. There you go. Fucking get in there.
I've got
Go down to
two
Catfish, get 'em in.
Yeah, I've got two free cheesesteaks in the bag now. So yeah, I'm just gonna lob in.
I gotta remember not to forget to put them on.
Good job.
Because it's not good.
Nice one. Well, there you go. Cheesesteaktipping.com. Get your tips in. Go hammer and tongs. Get around the NFL Supercoach stuff as well. You can probably still join the Open League. It's all there. But there you go. All right. We'll catch you on Thursday for the NFL Week 9 picks and preview show. We'll catch you then, you dickheads.
See yous.
Later, Hosen.
Broken.